Alright, family, this one is definitely more spiritual, but I believe everybody could benefit from it, especially people on the spiritual path. But it kind of validates what I said about me studying myself as of lately. Instead of studying a lot of prophets, and because the more I study them, they kind of just validate me. So yeah, I still study the same stuff, but I study it in a different way. And I'm gonna show you one of the ways and one of the things that has been weighing on my mind, and that I do, you know, um, you know, ask myself, and it's actually what people would consider strength. And I'm like, is there really that much strength in the world, that you can go through these things and still go to sleep with a smile on your face, and still have empathy in your heart to see it's bigger than you, and to put yourself in other people's shoes, and see the position that they in, and kind of see this thing from an unbiased point, even though you are a victim of it, which you just go through on a daily basis, being oppressed, spied on, constantly 24/7, stalked, betrayal, in your family, that has to do with that is in your family being targeted, not only you, but seeing your siblings being targeted as well. It's just crazy, a lot of stuff. But let's get into it. So I just asked AI, like straight up, I be using AI as the devil's advocate. Now I don't be playing no games with him. So I'm gonna take y'all through what I just asked him. I said, tell me what I should know about a person that constantly go through things that would drive most people crazy, but they constantly still find a place in happiness daily. That they analyze things happening to them and find humor even while angry. So for me, this kind of played in my mind. Remember, I tell y'all, you got to think about how you're thinking and stuff like that in all situations. So I still was like, bruh, is something wrong with you? Kind of like, it's a little bit. I know you be on point, like, your weirdness is on point a little bit, but how could these people be pervertedly stalking you, harassing you, antagonizing you, oppressing you, stopping you from taking care of your family, preventing you from accessing the stuff that you're paying for on a daily basis for all this time, and you still have so much love and joy? Actually, I went from people telling me that I don't smile and that I look mean, to now I look at my pictures, and every picture of me, I'm smiling. I have more joy than I ever had in my life. It's crazy. So I did have to, I'm like, I gotta analyze this. I want to know more about this. So I'm not gonna, I will after I'm gonna get into how they started basically flattering me, but with the truth. It gives me joy that it's actually the truth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna get into that right now. I'm gonna get into where I started playing the devil. Oh man. Oh yes. Here's where I went into playing the devils. I wanted them to, don't just tell me what I want to know, or hear. You know what I'm saying? I know that all makes me feel good, that I'm an empath and I do all these things. We gonna get into it. I said, but is there things that I should be aware of when monitoring myself, basically? But I put it in words. But is there anything they should be aware of when monitoring their self? I didn't let them know it was I who was asking. I was asking about a situation, from this start. So it was like, yes, there are definitely things that people like this, those who can handle a lot of stress while staying calm and finding peace, should keep in mind when monitoring themselves. While there is resilience and positive outlook are strengths. Oh man, did I screw that up? when monitoring themselves. While their resilience and positive outlooks are strengths, there are a few key areas that you should be mindful of to ensure they are not inadvertently suppressing their feelings or pushing themselves too hard. So that's what I was pretty much worried about a little bit. Like, I'm suppressing my feelings because why? But it's been so long, and I still have joy, and I still show love in my heart, and I still. I mean, that's. I could get into more of that. So we ain't gonna flatter ourselves too much or whatever on this situation. You know what I'm saying? Because it just is what it is, man. And I just feel good. I think this is what gives me the joy. And I think at the end of the day, that is what gives people their pain and their sorrow. It's your own guilt. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's yourself. You know, through these different religions and stuff like that, we always talk about the battle within. You know what I'm saying? And it really is a battle within, man. People be really fighting their own demons on a daily basis, man. And it's kind of just what we dealing with, man. But I think that is what gives me the joy. I don't think it's a problem for sure. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I was worried about. Like, am I suppressing my emotions and stuff like that? And then it was just telling me, like, oh, okay. It was like, suppressing anger, frustration, and sadness or stress can lead to emotional buildup that may come out later in unhealthy ways. That's why I do this podcast. That's why I promote y'all to doing podcasts. I promote everybody to doing podcasts. I think it's healthy, but we got another podcast on that, and I'm gonna talk about it later. But emotional buildup that may come out later in unhealthy ways. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, don't let nobody ever try to make you silent. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst thing, and that's the biggest tactic that they use against you. Don't ever let nobody try to make you silent and stay silent about your abuse and what you're going through and what they're putting you through. It's okay to feel things fully, even if they're negative emotions. The goal is not to ignore those feelings, but to process them in a healthy way, whether by talking about them or journaling, rather than just laughing them off. Like, that's what I was concerned about too, because a lot of the bullshit they do become funny to me. But it's just, I'm like, they fucking clowns though. Like, I be really clowning them. It just is what it is, and I feel that way. So it is what it is. I think they gonna bring that up and talk about it. Check in with yourself. They should ask themselves, am I truly okay? That's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Or am I just trying to move past this too quickly? Sometimes we use humor or detachment as a shield, but if they never give themselves space to feel their emotions, they could miss out on healing. That the healing that happens when we allow ourselves to experience and understand our feelings. Okay, so they said overextending their resilience, recognizing limits. People who can handle a lot of stress often push themselves harder than others. They believe they can handle more and more without a break, but everyone has their limits. It's important for them to regularly assess their energy levels and mental health. If they're always handling stress without ever fully resting or recharging, they might be at risk of burnout without realizing it. So self-care. This doesn't just mean physical rest, emotional and mental self-care, or just This doesn't just mean physical rest. Emotional and mental care are just as important. They should take time for activities that rejuvenate them, whether it's spending time alone, connecting with loved ones, or ongoing engaging in hobbies. I'm sorry, y'all. I tell y'all know I need glasses too. Engaging in hobbies that bring them peace. You know, I told y'all it'd be simple stuff sometimes. not dwelling on negative, but not ignoring it either. Balance between positivity and reality. It's easy to slip into toxic positivity where everything everything is seems as fine even when it's not. Constantly trying to stay positive to face the real issues can lead to feelings of invalidation. These is the tactics they use, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you damned if you do, you damned if you're not citing. Nah, not citing all real shit. But where their struggles aren't acknowledged or addressed, it's important to strike a balance between keeping a positive outlook and acknowledging when things aren't going well. Self-awareness check. They should check themselves. Anyway, let's see. Over rationalizing or over analyzing. Finding the humor but not overthinking. This is important, definitely, for sure. While being able to find humor and meaning in difficult situations is a sign of emotional maturity, there's a risk of overanalyzing everything, even the smallest frustrations. If they constantly analyze every detail and try to find meaning in everything, it can become mentally exhausting or even lead to overthinking. Non-stop tactics, y'all. Damned if you do, if you damned if you don't. But you got to be careful that for sure. I take mental breaks all the time, a lot more now than I ever did. I'm telling you, I'm good with it. It's important to know when to just be in the moment without trying to dissect every part of it. Avoid over rationalization. Sometimes people become so focused on understanding the situation that they miss out on the point or simply experiencing it. They might need to remind themselves that not everything needs a deep analysis or explanation. Sometimes it's okay to just feel and move on. You know, you definitely have to be like this with a lot of they chicanery. They do a lot of chicanery. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Non-stop. So just maintaining boundaries. Know when to say no. These people are often helpful and resilient, but they may have a tendency to take on too much, whether it's helping others or pushing themselves beyond their limits. That's why I be even taking, time from the True I Speak podcast, man. I go without a phone, y'all. Y'all gotta do this sometimes, y'all. TV, everything. Like, we just human beings. Like, is everybody a target? They trying to make everybody dumb at the end of the day. But anyway, just maintaining your boundaries. May find themselves constantly sacrificing their own well-being for others or taking on more than they can handle. It can lead to feelings of resentment or exhaustion. Avoid people pleasing. They might also need to check whether they're laughing things off or minimizing their own needs to keep others comfortable. It's important to ensure that I'm sorry, I was making sure I was still recording. Let me see where I always have. It's important to ensure that while they're maintaining a positive attitude, they're not sacrificing their personal values or mental health to please others. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Like, you can't, it gets to a point like, you're going to really try to make me fucking stupid? just to give some humor to this issue. Y'all know I do this. I got dark sense of humor, period. I accept that. I know it's not no problem, but you gotta check sometimes. Anyway, let's keep it going. Avoid toxic situations, knowing when to let go. That's why I got this whole let go series, y'all. Just because someone can laugh off a situation don't mean they should stay in it if it's constantly harmful or toxic. They need to be aware of when certain environments or people are draining their energy or holding them back. If they laughing at something that is truly damaging to their well-being, they may not need to reconsider whether it's time. They may need to reconsider whether it's time to walk away. Self-respect, maintaining a sense of humor and peace don't mean tolerating disrespect or unhealthy dynamics. They should check if they're tolerating negative environments or for the sake of not letting it get to them, or instead work on removing themselves from those situations where necessary. Self compassion. Actually, I'm gonna link this in the journal. It's early in the morning, y'all. Even though I'm kind of at the end, I could, but nah, I'm going to get into flattering myself, and I think y'all should read it. I don't gotta really talk about myself because I hate doing that. That's why I didn't start with it. So I'm gonna just put these notes in this conversation in the True I Speak podcast page. You know, we got 1 and 2. I'm gonna share it on both, so it's gonna be on both where y'all can see it. You know, I'm Raphael Rashim. This is the True I Speak podcast page. Remember, protect your mind, protect your peace, protect your family, protect your integrity. You know what I'm saying? We in the spiritual warfare. We ain't asked for it, but we is in it, and this is what we was born for. You guys, it's time to choose a side, and you know what I'm saying? And let the perpetrators expose who they are and who they want to be when it comes down to it. I'm out of here.